So we're going to be installing the Precision Raceworks coils, which is going to be cool, and it's going to make my engine bay look a little better too. I bought the kit where it goes on the OEM rail, and you'll see later on after I'm done installing it that we're only going to be using these two, even though the bracket has two more for this side and this side, for the two ends, but these two are too low to actually do anything, so we're just gonna have to be using the top two. I also bought this from BMS Burger Motorsports because I got tired of just traditionally just smacking this thing on the ground. But I do recommend when you're doing this, just change out your spark plugs with two-step coulter. But as you know, when I tuned the car, less than 3,000 miles ago, I already swapped these out, so I don't even have that much mileage on them. So I'm gapping them down to 20. When I got them, I didn't gap them at all, but I'm gapping them down to 20 thousandths, and that should do it with the performance. Not going in any farther than that. So, this thing. Okay. Well, loosen that all the way, and then straightforward. You just screw this on, screw this, and then the kit also has an option to get a depth gauge. I would just get it because this is so much better than the old one that I had, which is just like the 50-cent AutoZone one. Ignore the part where I said that we had to take these out, because we don't. They made it so we are using the fuel rail bolts to bolt this thing on the rail for it. I was stupid, and I thought, well, I thought that they designed it to go into the intake manifold, but they did not. I mean, these bolts were hidden with all these wires up there, so I couldn't even see it anyways. That was the problem, and I searched and searched, couldn't find anything on the OEM manifold Precision Raceworks coil installs. So all I found was people installing them on the other side, so I don't know why. It's like a lot colder over here, but yeah, I was like, why isn't, I saw like pictures of it on, and I didn't see that it was actually connected to those right there. So I was like, why isn't anybody complaining about that? But yeah, it actually perfectly slides in. You don't have to take it all out, just loosen it about a 1/4 inch, and then this thing just slides in from the top, and it's pretty stable on there. Make sure you move all these wires up. You do, however, will have to cut this. This thing was keeping the coil from seating properly all the way down, so you have to remove that. Also, to get access to those bolts, you are going to have to remove 3 of these clips that go onto the fuel rail, and then the wires clip onto that. I was an idiot once again, and I just pried it out, and I broke the little clip thing that holds it in. So it goes in like this on this spot right there, and there's a hole in there, and they made a hook style thing, so when you're installing it, or when you're removing it, you want to push it down and then out. You can see how it's shaped. You want to push it down and then out, and it'll pop out super easily. I kind of just pried this out because I was like, why isn't this coming out? And then I pried it out, heard something break. It was this thing, so yeah. Also, make sure you have something covering at the bottom here, because when I cut it out, it just fell in here, and now I don't know where that plastic piece is. So yeah, or at least like cut it with a sawzall, but not all the way, and then just break the last part off and you'll be good. So yeah, I tightened those 2 bolts back up, put the spark plugs. I did that a while back. I probably put the spark plugs back on. I think now we just bolt these back on. Well, I got to put the clips back on, but after that we just put these back on and all the wiring stuff done, and boom, we should be done. That was probably hopefully the only complicated part of this kit, but I didn't see anybody else explaining how to install it or even showing it, so yeah, this is how you install it. Just like that. Oh man, this is looking good. Check that out. We don't even have the blue wires going there yet. Okay, so once that rail's installed, you can't use these anymore. They won't go back in. So those are trash, even though I broke them. Doesn't matter, they're trash. The wires kind of just sit in the valley, in the I forgot what it's called, but it sits in here where the bracket comes this way and then the head. These screws, they screw into the bracket piece itself, and the bracket piece, when they painted it, they painted over the threads as well. So if you have a tap, you want to tap those holes before you install these, because it's gonna be a pain. I noticed that, and then when I came in, I used the bolts, because I don't have my taps aren't the same size as the ones they used, so I don't have any taps that'll fit. But all I did was I took the screws and I just kind of tightened them, and I sprayed brake cleaner on the paint so it loosened it up a little bit, maybe. I mean, I think it kind of helped, but yeah. Then I just kind of screwed this until it went past that hole, and then unscrewed it, rinse and repeat. So I did that to all 12 holes, and they were still tight when I was tying them in. So like they were still snug. So it's all good. That just means they're not gonna loosen up. But yeah, make sure you get those paint out of those threads before you install them, because you don't want to do them while they're in the car. It's gonna be really hard. So yeah, that process went very well. You don't have to remove this bracket piece at all. As I learned, I took these bracket pieces out because this thing was touching them, but then I found out I just had them backwards. As you can see, the plugs are raised on one side. So yeah, if you have it backwards, they'll be at the bottom and they'll be touching this. So alright, here's the wire, and that's how it looks with all the coil wires, or coil plugs, spark plug wires in. The plug just goes in like that, and then they have their own clip right here, so it just clips on right there, and this part clips on over here just like that. I'm really liking how it looks, but yeah, it's a lot better than I thought. My hands are dirty. I don't want to touch anything, although I did just touch everything. I wiped it down. So now we have to go down to the flash. Hopefully it won't take too long. But yeah, if it does, I'll stay outside of the car. If it does, I'll plug in the battery charger. But yeah, everything, it looks so good. Check out my Instagram to see some pictures of this. Yeah, on the MHD, just go into options. It'll on the ignition settings, it'll say I'm too lazy to pull it up right now. My phone's all the way over there. It'll just, under ignition, it'll say OEM, and then all the different brands that they have coded for. So just pick Precision Raceworks if you have it, and then I think they have another brand on there, I'm not sure, but yeah. And then just, flash it like normal. All good. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like this video if you learn anything new, or at least how to install this on a Z4. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.